Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of praying through the darkness. Our topic for today is titled Safe and Secure. And I do wish that you will stay with me for this devotional because right after the little prayer, I have a personal story that I would like to share with you that I feel like goes along really, really well with our devotional. Now, our Bible verse that we'll be looking at today comes from Job 11, verse 18. But before we get into it, let me remind you that my daily devotionals come from this little blue book that's put out by Broad Street Publishers titled 365 Days of Prayers for Depression and Anxiety. But as I've mentioned before, these prayers are good for anyone, no matter what it is that you're experiencing. So if you wish to have your own copy in which you can just thumb through it, pick out devotionals that really pertain to you on that particular day, because even though they are labeled day by day throughout the year, there's nothing wrong with just, if nothing else, taking a few moments, putting your hands on it, and just letting it open up so that you can have something to read and meditate on. But anyway, there is a link for you down in the description box if you wish to have your own copy. But it's not necessary for you to follow along with me every day when we come together. Safe and secure. You will have confidence because there is hope. You will be protected and take your rest in safety. Father, I know that children in healthy families are confident of their parents' ability to keep them safe and secure. They are not required to fend for themselves because everything that they need is taken care of by loving parents who protect their families, and their kids take comfort in the leadership that they provide. Whether or not this is what I experienced as a child, I can rest in the knowledge that I'm being cared for, provided for, and protected by you. I am not left on my own to figure things out. My confidence is in you, my ever-present God who doesn't miss a detail. I can yield the unknown to you, trusting that you see and provide for all that I need. Faithful Father, I trust that you will continue to take care of me as you have up until now. You are not absent. I have confidence in your goodness, and I can rest in you, knowing that you don't miss a thing. I know I've shared with you many, many times in different areas, whether it be through a devotional or perhaps whenever you've caught me on a live, but many of you may not know that at the age of 10, circumstances in my family life were horrible. My grandmother, my natural grandmother, was left to take care of us, and folks, she really was quite old. Her health was not good. So through the church, she found for us a very special children's home, or to me, it's special. It's down in South Texas, just east of San Antonio and west of Corpus Christi, and the name of it is the South Texas Children's Home. It is affiliated with the Baptist organization. It is a wonderful, wonderful place. The campus is laid out pretty much like what you would see in a housing development. There's tennis courts, there's a swimming pool, there's a rec hall. We even have our own little chapel out there. There's 12 cottages around. And when I say cottages, I mean, folks, these are very nice homes. Now, when I was out there, there were 4 bedrooms, and you could accommodate up to, in a crunch, 12 kids. Most of these cottages had couples for parents, but some of them had only like a what we called house mother. Anyway, I tell you all that to set this up. My life at the age of 10 years of age was very, very uncertain. As much as my grandmother tried to provide for us, um, it was getting harder and harder for her to have to corral 3 kids. I mean, I was 10. I had a sister that is 1 year younger than me, and I had a brother that was 1 year younger than her. So 10, 9, 8. And imagine having to take care of them, not only by yourself, she didn't get around very well, and only on her pension and what she received from Social Security. My mother was no help in supplying needed funds to take care of 3 growing kids. And my dad had been gone for at least 4 years, if not more. But anyhow, so the time came where my grandmother had to make a decision, and the decision she made really changed the rest of my life. Because, folks, God knew every detail of my life at that point. He also knew that if my grandmother did not take his direction and release us into the care of a good Christian atmosphere, that there really wasn't going to be a good situation for us. Let's just put it like that. Anyhow, through my years out at the children's home, folks, I grew to know what a true family unit was all about. I knew, or I grew to know, not only what this true family unit was about, but what Christian family is all about. I learned Christian values. I was 16 when I finally surrendered my life to Christ, when I accepted him as my Lord and Savior. But I have to tell you, it was extremely hard and difficult for me, because even though my physical body was being taken care of, I had wonderful house parents that were, I mean, they truly filled the role of parents that I needed in my life. I just fought against the idea that God loved me. I mean, to a 10, 11, 12-year-old girl, how could a God that I couldn't see, couldn't touch, couldn't, wrap my arms around and feel him, smell him, how could I trust that this being who created me loved me? Loved me for who I was, not from where I came from or who my parents were. He loved me, and he wanted to take care of me. He wanted to show me what true love from a parent is. Like I said, I struggled against that for a long, long time, because I had it in me. I had the belief that if my own physical parents didn't want me, and yes, for a while I even resented my grandmother, because, she, through no fault of her own, could no longer take care of us. But yet, you know what? She was led to put us in a place of safety, and where we were going to be, our physical needs were going to be met, and also, most importantly to her, our spiritual needs were going to be met. Now, as I said, it took a long time for me to fully realize that God was offering me a place of safety and security. And I finally realized that when I surrendered my life to him. And that is where I have been ever since. Now, yes, there have been times when I have fought against that safety and that security, because I have allowed so many things of the world to creep in on me, to cause me to doubt my faith, to cause me to want to take care of me. You know what I mean? But through all of those struggles as well, because, I believe that God sometimes does step back and say, okay, I love you enough to let you do it on your own. But just know that I will be here. I still love you. I still will take care of you. But it's all right if you want to stretch your wings and see what you can do on your own. God never leaves us alone, even in those times that we fight against what we feel like are constraints on our lives. When, like I said, me do it, like the little kids will say. There is no better place. There is no more secure place than in the arms of God, than in His love and in the security that He offers us from the demons of the world. I do hope that you have come to the realization that God does offer us security. He does offer us that safe place, which is His love. That's where it's found, folks. That's where it is found. Thank you so much for joining me today for this devotional. Let me just remind you that please be sure to leave your little thumbprint there and also leave me a comment as to how this devotional has affected you today. Let me also remind you that when the doubts of darkness wish to crowd in on your life and rob you of your security and your love from Him, don't allow it. You're not alone. God is right there waiting to take on those battles for you. Also remember, folks, I love you too. See you tomorrow. Bye.